The ass knew he looked good, and he made sure to smile at every single woman who was hanging out in the weight section of the gym. I gritted my teeth and tried to ignore him, but he just leaned against the wall and waited me out until I finally caved. "What do you want, Tremaine?" I panted. Max was a very hot, sexy biker. I say biker as a relative term. He wasn't bad in any sense. Well, as long as you didn't touch his bike, hurt his sister, or mess with his team. He was an all-around great guy. He didn't do anything illegal. In fact, he was pretty much the opposite. He was in the military, an army ranger. A sexy army ranger with biceps that were the size of my thighs. Oh God, was he sexy. Tall, muscled, beautiful. Yum. I'd met Max through Cheyenne. Cheyenne and I had gone to nursing school together, and then we'd gotten a job in the same department following the passing of our nursing boards. Over the course of school, we'd had many study group sessions at her home. That's where I'd met Max. Max was a man who worked with Cheyenne's husband, Sam. He and 4 other men, some with wives and some without, lived in what amounted to a compound of sorts on the grounds of Free. This included the duplexes for the families and their motorcycle repair and customization shop. I'd gotten to know them all well over the course of my school, and now my professional career. However, Max was the one that started my heart to racing, and the blood to course thickly through my veins. He was also the type of man that would set your panties on fire, and he knew it.
"Nothing. You look a little hot there, Alvarez," he countered.
"I am hot. Isn't that the point of the gym? These?" I said, nodding to the women who still weren't working out. "Fakers aren't even here to work out. Hell, I don't even know why they're here. No, I take that back. Obviously, it's to sit here and look pretty, to take up space, and to make all the uglies like me feel inferior next to their mile-long legs and tits that could put Dolly Parton to shame." Max found me amusing and burst out laughing, which, in turn, drew all of the ladies' eyes again. They looked at me with disdain, and then turned their gazes back to their fake workouts. I mean, who the hell works out with only the bar while lifting weights? What's the freaking point? Muscles burning, I stopped climbing and practically fell off the machine as I tried to step down on my left foot. My ankle gave out, but Max stopped me from toppling to the ground in a boneless heap.
"Maybe you should stop a little earlier next time. You don't want to overwork yourself,"
he said in that annoyingly deep voice. Of course he would think I'm inept, which couldn't be further from the truth. I disentangled myself, reluctantly, from his body, and started walking out of the weight area to the locker room. Just as I reached for the door handle, Max's large hand slammed down above my head and boxed me in. I turned around, slowly, and my breath hitched when I found myself staring at his sternum. What a nice sternum it was, too. Reluctantly, I let my eyes wander up past his dog tags, up his thick neck, past his stubborn jaw, quickly skipping over his kissable lips, and settled on his eyes. They were filled with humor, and my temper came sparking to life. "Back off, pretty boy," I snapped.
"Pretty boy? Do you see this scar right here?"
he asked, running his finger along a scar that circled around his ear.
"This scar makes me look manly, not pretty. Get it straight."
"Whatever. I have plans in an hour. Please step aside," I demanded.
"With who?"
He practically purred. His face was moving closer and closer to mine. Any second now, his lips would touch mine, and I'd be a goner. "A guy from my class? We have a test tomorrow and we're studying."
"I'll help you study,"
he said, right before his lips met mine. Fire burst through my lips, burning where his connected with mine. My lips parted with a gasp, and his tongue snuck inside, devouring my mouth. I moaned and leaned into his body, which somehow had mine pinned against the door. If I didn't get control of myself, I'd allow him to fuck me right here and now. But, for some reason, that wasn't bothering me at the moment. Rotating my hips, I ground my belly into his erection. He groaned and had just put his hands on my hips when a nasty voice interrupted us, practically dousing my euphoria with a pail of icy water. "You could do way better. She's short, fat, and ugly. Look at how sweaty she is." Perky tits.